Good morning, everyone. This is Stirling Talks. I've been so excited to chat with our first guest right here from Radical Weavers. We've already told you about the visit that we had recently here with that. First of all, who are you?
My name is Mairi Breslin.
And what is Radical Weavers?
Radical Weavers is a community weaving studio based in Murray Place in Stirling. We have young adult weavers who come in and weave tartan with us.
We're going to get into more about what happens here. What is this? Listen, we had some sound earlier of the big visit recently of William and Kate, the Prince and Princess here. We're getting to, so I'm standing out there talking to all these people, and quite a few people, Stirling people, have been here much, much longer than I have. I said, "Have you been? What people? What's going on? What's going?" I said, "The visit. What's the place they're going into?" Radical Weavers. When people say, what is Radical Weavers, they've been here for so long. A lot of people, we're not just talking tours, they don't know that you're here.
Yep, that's true. We are definitely a well-kept secret at the moment. We offer experiences for people to come and have a go at weaving, specifically tartan weaving. There's lots of fun to be had in the studio. We do that in order to fund the charity work that we do.
And there's quite a story here, the Radical Weavers. If people don't know why it's called this goes back, this is a big piece of Stirling history here.
Yeah, that's right. So the original Radical Weavers of 1820 were a group of weavers who were looking to improve the state for working people in Scotland. Things were pretty bad in Scotland. There was lots of poverty and disadvantaged. And the weavers took it upon themselves to try and improve the lot of the common people. And they planned to march to Stirling to take on the government and fight for better situations. But spoiler alert, it didn't end well. Their plan was to pick up a cannon from Carn Works in Falkirk, drag that to Stirling and thereby use that to influence the government to give them the right to vote, for example. However, their plans were intercepted and they were arrested and taken to the toll booth, tried for treason, which was a capital offence, so they were hung and had the heads chopped off, and that was to be the end of that.
You'll learn more about that when you come and visit. When I first came in and heard the story, and I've actually heard it on a couple of tours walking around as well, it is, spoiler alert, it's very gruesome. Another thing is these radical weavers were incredibly smart and gifted craftspeople that were doing amazing things. And you'll learn about that here in the story. You do get quite a few tourists in here as well. Why should people in Stirling come in here and embrace this story?
It's a really important part of Scottish history. Things changed forever after the Radical Weavers had their uprising. It's the story of people trying to improve their lot, improve their lives, and do better for themselves and their community. And it's something that we think we're still trying to do 200 years later. It is something that's not widely known of in Scotland and in Stirling, especially the Radical Weaver story should be better known. And there may be reasons behind that, but even as close as when the Scottish Parliament opened at the turn of the millennium, there was a debate to say, should we teach the Radical Weaver story in schools? And the decision they came to was that no, it shouldn't be taught in schools because we didn't want people to get ideas about protesting and standing up to rules that they don't agree with. So there's something that's contemporary in this story, even though it's 200 years old, it's very much an up-to-date story.
And I, in my previous life, in a previous continent, I had quite a few experiences with things that weren't in history books. And it is amazing that in this society, they've done fairly well here with including some of the awkward bits, but this is a bit here that if you are in this area, it's fascinating, but you'll also be a bit frustrated because this is something that, and I'll just say editorial content here, this should be taught in schools. This is a major part of the history, and the story is a bit gruesome, but there's things that you can kind of change. You do get quite a few young people in here, and that's sensitive here, but it's a big part of Stirling. So that being said, you just had this royal visit here that got quite a bit of attention. We were chatting before and during that and all that, everything. How did that go, having them in here?
Well, it was something that I would never in my wildest dreams have imagined would happen. Having the future King and Queen visiting a community weaving studio in Stirling, run by me, who's not a huge fan of the royal family, it just seems extremely unlikely. But what happened was they reached out to us just before Christmas and said that a couple of royal people were coming to Stirling and would like to visit. They chose us for their, as they said, outstanding contribution to the community, and told us that a couple of people from Kensington Palace would like to come and visit. And I thought, well, fine, that's fine. They'll only be here 45 minutes. We'll do that. And then we were told it was Kate and William, and actually there would be quite a lot involved in this. But the opportunity to showcase what we do to a wider audience was something that we just couldn't turn down.
Right.
So we agreed for this to happen, and the idea was that they were going to come in and see what we do, learn more about the work that we do, and that would give us an opportunity to tell the wider audience about what's going on here.
It's a win, and I do understand it. You know, there was moments there a bit awkward for some, and we completely understand that. And we actually heard a little bit about that earlier with some of the people that were waiting outside. Somebody actually shouted at William as he was walking in about the bins. So that was quite, yeah, we get that. Okay, that's good. So they come in here, they do, no, I know, I got you on that, didn't I? If you missed the first segment today, go back and listen to that. But there were quite a lot of meaningful moments too. We had a young lady and her mom on from Hungary that have been here for many years, and it meant a lot to them. So that royal visit, it means a lot to a lot of people in a lot of different ways. For you, though, to get the story out there in some of the little press clippings and all that kind of stuff, it was a great awareness for you. One of the things I want to make sure that we talk about today is they did something while they were here that only got a little bit of a mention. We're going to have more about that on the show in the coming months. I'm very excited about this. What did they do here for people that may have missed that tiny little snippet?
So when we were setting up the meeting, we were told that it's okay to ask them to do something in return for us taking the time to show them round. And we have a fundraising campaign that we plan to launch, which is to help us build a tartan visitor experience in Stirling. And we came up with the idea that fundraising for that would be done by weaving the world's longest tartan scarf. And we decided to ask whether Kate would be kind enough to start the weaving off for the longest scarf, and she agreed to do so. So when she came here, we had a loom set up with the red Wallace tartan, and Kate was taught how to weave and sat and wove an inch or two of the Wallace tartan, and that's the start of our world record attempt to weave the world's longest tartan scarf.
I feel like and when I was reading the snippets, I was like, no, talk about that more, because I want to, and again, we are going to talk about this more. I don't know if you're picking up my voice. I'm a little bit excited about this, but we need like a big drum roll. We need the pipes. We need some the world's largest tartan scarf in the world. You know, something like that. That'll come. I know. I'm a little excited about this. I know that you're excited about this. To have a member of the royal family, especially her, to come and start that off. This is something that people are going to be able to be a part of and be a part of that little bit there that she did. They can add to it, right?
Yes. So we're hoping that we'll weave a tartan scarf that is much longer than anything that's ever been done like this before. My target is 3.5 kilometres. Oh. And for every kilometre, for every centimetre, we're hoping that people will pledge money for this. We're going to have the loom in the studio in Stirling in Murray Place, but we're also going to be going out and about with it, effectively loom busking. So we take the loom to different places where people...
Loom busking!
It's a new thing.
Yeah.
It's a new rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're taking the loom out and about to places where people might be interested to see this and have a go. Yeah. And we'll get them to contribute to the weaving to help us to reach that target. And in doing so, we'll raise some funds, which for a project that we're planning to work on through the summer.
So details on that coming. We are going to have you back on. I'm very clearly excited about this. I'll stay calm for the rest of it. If you're a member of the Tartan Army, stay tuned because we've got a bit about that as well. So this is great. You've got a lot going on. I know that having a royal visit here was just completely overwhelming, so you're recovering from that. Here, people listening to this right now, you want them to come in and see this place here now. When can people do that? Where can they find out more?
So the shop's open Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the moment. We do have, we're a charity, we have limited staff, and that's all we can afford to open at the moment. But the loom will be in the shop. People can come in, find out about what the money is being raised for. They can have a go. We'll show them how to weave, and they can weave some of this Wallace tartan. It will be authentic tartan woven in a traditional way on a traditional loom, and help us to reach that target of 3.5 kilometres.
So they're getting that going. But in the meantime, feel free to come by as that's going and check it out. If you've got family from out of town, people from other countries, people visiting, bring them here. The monument, we love the monument. We love everything around here. The museum is amazing. Make sure you go by the Mairi and Stirling shop and all that. Shout out to them. We love them. But bring them here, especially people from out of town, because you're not really going to get much more of a Stirling story that you can actually touch and be a part of than right here at Radical Weavers.
Yep, absolutely. And everybody that takes part can leave a little message of good luck and encouragement. It'll be part of something that we'll have forevermore. When the scarf is finished and all the photographs are taken, it will be cut into sections. It will be donated to charity. There'll be parts of the scarf will be going all around the world. It's a very exciting thing. Never been done before. We'll be the first to do it.
How long again are we looking for?
It's 3.5 kilometres.
Wow. The world's largest tartan. I'm doing my old announcer voice. I'm sorry. The website one more time for people to find out more.
It's www.radicalweavers.org.
All right, brilliant stuff here. This is Stirling Community Radio, Stirling Talks. We will be back. Thank you for your time. Get some coffee because you got a lot of work coming up ahead. All right, Stirling Community Radio, Stirling Talks. I'm Wilson. We'll be back.